Welcome to Writer's Therapy. Some people write therapeutically, but authors need therapy after writing. We aren't therapists, but we feel like we need one. This podcast is like our group therapy. Kate, me, and listener who has yet to contribute. Come listen to us discuss writing, storytelling, reading, and publishing. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Marty.
How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
I had to get my car towed twice yesterday, so that was fun.
Oh my god. I knew about the one, but the twice?
So what happens is AAA can't take you off the Garden State Parkway. They have to call a private tow service for that. And then he dropped me off at a Wawa, and I was starving, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to go in, and I'm going to get mozzarella sticks. And it came out, got the phone call that was like, all right, it's going to be 2 hours. And then I got a second phone call that was like, it's going to be actually 20 minutes. I'm like, all right, cool, okay. Either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here, and I have food, and I'm just going to sit in my car. And then I go around to where my car's been kind of left, and I see there's a tow truck. And I'm like, oh, and it's running. And I'm like, oh, that was really fast. And then it's this, there's no driver. And so I'm standing there like, is this for me?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do. And then like, I just stand there for 10 minutes, and then another tow truck comes by, and it actually says AAA on the side. And so the guy's like, oh, you got two. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what that's about. And then the other tow truck driver came out from inside. You know, he's got his snacks now, and apparently they know each other, so they stopped to chat. And I'm like, okay, this is great.
I mean, it's still a time saver from the 2-hour initial,
yes,
estimation.
Definitely.
So you guys can chat. It's cool.
It was a fun little, getting towed is not fun, but it's a little adventure.
Well, and like...
God, I keep making it sound like I enjoyed it.
Well, but there's something to be said for, like, this is a little mini emergency and everything's fine. You know what I mean? Like,
no, and like Austin... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, you're good.
Yeah, at some point during it, Austin texts me and he goes, you're doing really well for someone who's in a disaster scenario. And I'm like, oh, no, this isn't disastrous. This is just annoying.
This is just, like, higher than minor inconvenience.
Yeah, like, a disaster is... My car stops in the middle of the parkway, and I didn't think to, like, pull off on the side.
Yeah.
You know, thankfully I was like, you know what, maybe I'll just pull over.
Dude.
Then I'm like, as I was pulling over, my power steering just stopped, and, like, turning the car was a lot harder all of a sudden in, like, the last 5 feet. I'm like, oh my god. Oh, I'm so glad I pulled over, because I was generally like, oh, maybe I can make it. Maybe I can just leave these lights on. Because, like, when the engine light comes on, I'm like, yeah, okay, you stay on. I'm not going to pay attention to you.
Again, if it starts blinking, then you have problems. Like,
okay.
Turn it off right away. Otherwise, it's not causing itself damage. Like,
I just need to remember that.
I need to let everyone know, like, I am not a mechanic. So... Take my words with a grain of salt, but yeah, if your check engine light starts blinking, like, turn off the car.
Yeah, that seems like. See, I when it pops on, it's just there for a while. And so my car has like some kind of emissions tank is like partially depleted, and so it's throwing up
really
a signal.
Funny. Because I was like, I wonder if it's like...
But is it the emissions
I'm
tank?
not a or it's an O2 sensor, or like something like that. But again, I'm not a mechanic. I am taking my secondhand knowledge and trying to assess the situation.
Just, imposter my way into a mechanic-y situation.
Yes. I do love the idea that, like, if I was talking to an actual mechanic, they'd be like, this woman doesn't know what she's talking about. But everyone else, like, I do okay.
See, so my ex-boyfriend, and we're still friends, so we still talk all the time. So he's now some kind of a mechanic. I don't know the specific, because I would keep saying, oh, so you're a mechanic now, right? And he'd be like, oh, well, I'm certified in these things. And I'm like, oh, God, why can't you make this easy for me? Like, I just want to know what your job is. But anyway, so he does cars, he does trucks and diesel and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So, like, I don't know why he keeps not using the mechanic
not saying
title.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know, maybe he feels like he has to, like, I don't know, have it on his job contract actually say that.
Most of the mechanics I know, like, they're not really certified. They just know how to turn a wrench,
Oh.
sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's a Michigan thing. I don't know, because it's like so entrenched in like car culture. But everyone has, like, not everyone, but it's really common, like, some level of like
Car know-how.
know-how, understanding of even car, like, put together. You know what I mean?
So he's like super into car things. So he's always talking to me about like, oh, this is why this is wrong, or like, you know. So I've gained like a little bit of like a smidge of car knowledge off of him. And so my current boyfriend Austin, who works in IT, knows nothing about cars.
So he's very helpful with IT.
I know. So he's my go-to IT guy. But like when he starts talking to cars about me, like talking to me about cars, he's just like, oh, cars have a fan belt? And I'm like, yes, and sometimes they can shred. So, like, I become the expert and all my smidge of knowledge. It's very weird.
That's so funny.
God, and, like, so I text Nick. I'm like, these lights are popping up on my idiot board. What's going on with my car? Because, like, I'm pulled over and then so he kind of says, do me a favor, go get out and check to see if the fan belt is in place. And I'm like, I could not identify a fan belt for you.
Yeah, exactly.
But then, like, when I talked to the mechanics later, I'm like, okay, so what was it? And they're like, yeah, your fan belt is shredded. And I'm like, ooh. And then I'm like, go back to Nick. And I'm like, how did you fucking know?
How did he know? Like, what was the indicator?
He did not tell me how he knows. I think the thing is, he can identify a car by the sound of its engine. Just not even looking at it, just the engine that's running. And I think that's so fucking spooky.
Andrew can do stuff like that too.
Andrew. What
and
club
then, like,
are these?
I don't know. And then he'll hear something like, oh, they need a I don't even know what the words you said are.
It just reminds me of, like, you know, remember Car Talk, the radio?
Oh, okay.
And, like, people would call in and be like, my car's making a kind of sound. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, that means you're, like, this is flat or, like, needs replacing. And we're like, oh, you understood what she's talking about by, like, imitating the noise, which that, to me, is bonkers.
That is, yeah.
All these guys out here making bird calls and, like...
It's making a caw.
My car's going...
So how has this week been for writing for you?
Ooh, I mean, I'm trying to write the second chapter of this new idea. I cringe at saying new idea because I've had so many recently. I keep starting projects and then, like, tossing them aside.
After we were just talking about last week about how finishing things is like a skill that you have to work on.
I feel. Let me count how many things I've salt, handle with Claire.
I consider handle with Claire, like, yeah, you have editing and stuff you want to do, but I wouldn't consider that something you haven't finished.
Oh, no. I'm counting the things I have finished.
Oh, okay.
Counting the things I've unfinished would take me a while.
I know, right? Same.
I got our Vulgar Valentines from last year. Mm-hmm. And the the monster story. So I got like 4 things, and 2 of them were short stories.
I don't even consider my Vulgar Valentines to be finished.
Like, no. Honestly, I feel like I need to throw in like a semblance of a plot somewhere.
Because my plan with that is to actually, like, write an ending, do a better job with the beginning, so it's not just all, you know, info dumping like crazy, right?
Yeah.
And then submitting it to a press for anthology, right? So I have to do all of that for that one. But as far as finished pieces, like, I have Banded Together, I have All Roads to Carter, I have another thing I wrote. I have 2 other things I wrote forever ago that will never see the light of day. They're just a sweet little mess.
You mean Quarantine? You put that up recently, right?
Oh yeah, Quarantine. Yeah, have you and me in Quarantine. Yep. Okay. So yeah, I have about four things I've finished as well. So, and so many unfinished items.
God, it just feels like they pile up.
Well, and there's a couple of things that, like, I might go back to that idea and do something with it. And then there's other things it's like, yeah, there's a reason why I walked away from it. Yeah, she was a mess. So
we were gonna talk about all the goddamn things you have to do when you're self-publishing.
Or publishing in general.
Or just publishing in general, but like
Yeah.
I feel like when you do self-publishing, you do take on like a good armful more of things.
Yeah, because I mean, at the very least, you have to either make your own cover or find someone to make your own cover. You have to find an editor. Well, okay. And these are all based on the idea that like someone is taking this route, because I have heard of other self-published authors like Colleen Hoover. Her first book she self-published, and she did not have an editor. She just did her best. She followed betas. Like she didn't have the money for an editor, so she didn't do it. And that's really what I have seen it boils down to. There is one other author I know that self-publishes, and she's like, I just really trust my betas, and so I don't do an editor. It just blows my mind. But yeah, there's definitely other steps in self-publishing that are not something that traditional publishing needs to take on. But at the same rate, like, then you have more say in things that matter to me personally.
You have more say in it, but you also have that responsibility.
Absolutely. Yes. But I mean, every author needs to build their platform. So there's the social media aspect that every author needs to do. A lot of times that's a big indicator of like whether an agent will take you on or not. I mean, there's just so much to do. And then in the end, I just want to do some writing.
I know. You're like, I'm just here to write. I don't want to be a social media marketing guru.
Oh my gosh.
But you feel like you have to like learn to become one.
You do. Well, and then like also like, okay, so in doing all of the social media things, it's like, okay, now I have to figure out like how to make my brain has to be able to function in that way. I'll have this great burst of like creativity. I can like make the TikToks, I can do a couple Instagrams and like keep it all rolling, right? And then I just hit a wall where it's like, I have no idea. Like, I have nothing to say. I have no interest. Like, it's just all gone. And I have a hard time even participating in following other people's feeds and stuff like that, because that's also part of it too.
Yeah,
you can't just you have to interact. Yeah, it's hard, man.
Well, so I was like having a little bit of anxiety about, because so from the Monster anthology, everyone was like, okay, because this imploded on itself, we're going to all self-publish. And, it's obviously everyone's making their individual choice about what to do about their own stories. But it did feel like, I wish we had voted on this. I wish we could have voted to like band together and make our own monster anthology. Yeah. Marketing for everyone, that we all pitch in, instead of us all running off in separate directions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I don't know. I'm not going to go on another rant about that's the point of an anthology, but... Anyway, so I was having anxiety, and actually my friend Autumn Reed, she's an author. She does, I think, mostly like sort of paranormal, kind of magical, kind of fairy tale, not just fairy tale, but like retellings of popular stories in a romance lens.
I love a retelling.
Yeah, I know. Her stories are adorable. She had one which was like the Scarecrow from Wizard of Oz. He's like a professor, and like the main character's at this college, and she has him for one of her classes. And so the way I know Autumn is that she contacted me through Facebook, and I do illustrative work for her, every now and then that she needs it. She was sending me something to let me know how some art came out. And then I was like, oh my God, you're right here. I can just ask you, what do you do when you have to put out a book? Like, I feel like I need a checklist. Can you,
God, that would
if
be
you
amazing.
have a checklist, well, so two things. I'll send you the link for one of these.
Oh, you're a hero.
She's the hero.
Tell her thank you for me.
Okay, I will. So she sent me, I'm actually part of this Facebook group. It's called the Alessandra Torres Inkers, which is fun to type all that out when you're searching for it. But it is a really good resourceful group full of resources for writers of all genres. And a lot of times people are asking questions you never even thought to think of.
Oh, cool.
And then they're answering them. And so it's really like, you kind of absorb it just by scrolling through your feed every day and seeing one of their posts. But so she has this document, it's called Dominate Your Release Checklist 2019. So I'm going to
Awesome.
send it to you. It's a PDF. But it is a, how many page? 6-page checklist of things to do.
Oh my god.
And then Autumn's like, because like, so it goes up to, so the checklist assumes you're starting 6 months before your release, which I'm not
It's
there.
so much to do. Yeah.
But so Autumn, she pared down. She sent me that, and then she sent me her version of, these are the absolute necessary ones. The others you can forget. Things that she always makes sure to do.
That's
so
awesome.
Pre-release. Do you want me to just go through it with you?
Yeah, please.
So like pre-release, there's write the blurb, which I actually saw a tweet that was like, before you start writing the book, write a blurb, you know?
Yeah.
Because like that's your like vague outline, and then you've already got something that you can, this is like when you have your first idea for what the book needs to be, that's when you're at your best to write the blurb, because you have such a narrow focus and you don't have any of the other details kind of bogging you down.
I have seen that before too, but I find that my trials and errors completely change my original idea.
True.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So,
I think you can alter your blurb as you go on, though. It's just helpful to have it there. I found it helpful because I've done that a couple times.
But you're also able to name your book before you even write it.
I mean, my plot also comes out of the title.
Yeah, that's kind of like I can see why writing the blurb first would work really well for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you do a lot of like discovery writing.
Yeah, I have to fail like a lot before I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you do a lot more rewrites, I think, than
in the beginning. Yeah, to find the plot.
Because like you're like, I will rewrite that whole chapter because it didn't hit the way I wanted it to, and I'm like, oh my god, the whole chapter.
Well, usually I have like descriptions and stuff like that I can purge. But yeah, I mean, everything will change. And like, not even the whole chapter. It'll be the whole 25%. Like, it's just gone. Nothing can be precious around here.
I'm still too precious with my stuff. I have to move it to another document and save it and just open it up.
I save it. I'll have like deleted scenes like galore in all of my Scriveners. They just aren't included in compile. Nothing gets deleted. Because there's even times where it's like, oh, I didn't think I'd be able to use that, but then I go back and I find it and I've already written it, and I just take that paragraph and move it where I want it.
That's smart.
It's helpful, especially with how many rewrites I do. But okay, so tell me about you have to write the blurb.
Okay, so you write the blurb, then you have a cover reveal.
Okay.
Researching Amazon keywords and categories.
Oh, shucks. That's when I really have to do.
Putting the book up for pre-order and sending the pre-order newsletter, and then the social media pre-order posts. Adding the book to Goodreads and sharing the link for readers to put on their TBR.
Awesome.
That one I hadn't considered. Like, I know people always talk about Goodreads is so important and vital to your marketing, but like, oh my god, I never realized that. Like, oh god, I have to put things on it.
Yeah, I hear ya. Okay, what's next?
Add a pre-order link to your author website. And then send out your betas and edit based on their comments. Proofread, send arcs, formatting. God, escalating quickly. Upload the final file to Amazon well before the deadline. That's smart. I feel like I would definitely wait to the last minute. I
also saw, I have a woman I follow on TikTok. Her second book, she had a bunch of pre-orders for it, and you can put like a placeholder file up for your pre-orders. And she's like, I will never do that again, because she put a placeholder up, but it was like, you know, her author notes covered placeholder, right?
Oh no.
It was like a draft.
Oh no.
Right? And then when all these pre-orders went out, she kept on getting all these emails like, hey, this isn't a finished copy. And she wasn't able to like, she had a really hard time like getting it fixed. And she's like, I will never put a placeholder up again because of like this experience. So little feather in your bonnet. So.
On one hand, that's terrifying, but also like on the other hand, I think there was the Romancing the Runoff auction that was last year. Literally a year ago. Wow, time flies.
Oh my god.
And so I think Tessa Dare put up like an annotated copy of one of her books.
That's
and
so
I was
cool.
like, me naively going onto the website like, oh, I wanna see that. Maybe I'll bid for it, and realizing that the top bid is like $1,000. I'm like, actually no, I can't.
That is really cool though.
God, I know.
Like
I was
that,
like,
yeah.
whoever gets this needs to do a public service and like put the PDF up. No, that's awful. But like
still, I really want to see like, yeah, how does she?
I
Like,
want to
I
see
would
how
like
she
to see
thinks.
her thoughts. Yeah,
yeah. Like, how does she move things around and how does she plot? Because like one of the things I'm always so impressed with her writing is like everything feels very smart, and the way that she inverts certain tropes is always so well placed within the narrative.
Yeah, everything is so like flawlessly intentional, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to like, I don't feel you can read it just for enjoyment's sake, but like reading it and like paying attention to like the nuance of it is really fun because she does such a good job with it.
God, yeah. And like I remember the first when I read When a Scot Ties a Knot, one of the things I was so impressed with was like, it, you know, the concept, like the conceit of this is a girl pretended to have a boyfriend, and she wrote letters to him every day, and then someone actually got those letters, and he showed up, and he's here to make her life hell.
After she has told her family that he died in battle.
Yeah, and they were engaged in all these.
Yes. So he got a letter telling him that her make-believe fiance is dead.
I know, and like that like broke his heart.
Yeah. It's
like, how could she kill me off?
How could she do? It's so good.
But like the thing that like really got me was like, wow, this is like, because it really seemed to me like this is the heart of romance. This idea that like, it seems like something that I feel like when you're young, that really feels like something that you wish could happen, that like you could write someone into existence. That you could write all these qualities up, and that this perfect person would just manifest for you.
There's a new book out, I believe, today or yesterday.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing posting about that.
The Book Boyfriend?
Yes.
This sounds like such a fun concept. I haven't read it. The author is one of my favorite Instagram feeds, and of course I can't remember her name.
I saw you posted it on Instagram.
Yeah. And she wrote a book about like a woman's book boyfriend coming to life. Whoop! Out of the book. And it's just like such a cute idea.
And it's like, I feel like everyone has had that daydream. And it's such a great premise to start on because it's already relatable.
It's like that concept of like the shared fantasy. So like when you're writing your blurbs, like you should try to hit those universal fantasies because that will make people download. Right?
That's what. Do I use her
Lillian
pen
Lark?
name? Lillian Lark. I'm like, what do I call her? That's what Lillian always talks about when she's talking about ids and egos and what your id wants. And I'm always like, I'm having such a hard time wrapping my mind around this concept that it's so important, and I feel like I really want to understand it.
I know exactly what I want.
Yeah.
But I have a hard time being like, I want this, therefore other people want this, right? But like that's exactly true, right? So in my book, what is it about it that excites me? That's what I should tell people about. But at the same rate, what excites me about my book anymore? I've looked at it for so long.
God, what a mood.
Right? Like, what is exciting about this?
That's something we skipped on the whole finishing projects thing, is that when you're at the end, you hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't hate it, but like, you kind of hate it.
The best thing about it is that you're at an end.
Yeah.
The best thing about it now is like the most exciting thing about this story for me right now is like I am 7,000 words away from the end.
Okay, we got 5 minutes. So I'm gonna read out the last of the list because there is a second half.
Oh Christ!
I know. This is the pared down version. This is a short version.
Oh my God! What am I gonna do?
I know. Okay, so
naive.
on release days, you post about the release on social media. You update your website in Goodreads blog post. Then you send out your new release letter, and then you host Facebook giveaways and remind ARC readers to post their reviews. That's not too much.
That's not too much.
It's really just saying, okay, it's here, everyone, look at me.
Okay, it is, because I was planning on doing my release on my birthday, and knowing how precious my little birthdays are, I'm going to do it on a different day. And make sure that, like, Andrew has a day off so I can, you know, just do the whole work mode. I was also thinking that I would, because I went to that adorable indie bookstore in this past weekend, and I am going to see if I can do, like, a release event there. And, yeah, just try to get people, like, coming through and saying hi and all of that. Yeah. And, like, if you like so-and-so, you will like me, sort of thing. And try,
you might
a little
need
more word of mouth.
A box of, like, books printed up for that event.
Yes. Yeah. I was thinking I'd have some physical copies with me. But I have to see if it's something that they'd even be willing to do. And also, like, I'm still super COVID conscious about everything, so am I comfortable? Will I be comfortable at that time?
We shall see.
I need to make a list. I need the list that you have in your hand. And I need to, like, make a list of, like, what am I doing tomorrow that isn't just writing? And, like, that's the whole point of this conversation, is you have to do all of the things, and I still have to get the writing done.
Right now, I'm just trying to work on getting back to consistently writing. I feel like I've been struggling to get back to that place where I was at the first 3 months of this year, maybe. Where I was just writing every day. I mean, just shit's been happening, you know? Like, every week, a new thing.
So, I know it's a lot easier for me to say this than it is for me to execute it. But, like, sometimes life gets off balance, right? Yeah. And you have to, like, pick and choose. You can't do all of the things. And so whatever writing you're getting done right now, like wherever you're carving out time, it's okay. It's enough. Life will get back to, like, some sort of, like, semblance, and, like, you'll be able to get back to the amount of writing that makes you feel more comfortable. You're never going to I say you're never going to walk away from it, but I've walked away from, like, I haven't written for years before.
Yeah.
I can't see that happening for you. Like, it seems like
God, I definitely already tried it. Like, at the beginning of college, I made that decision of, like, you know, I'm not going to go into a writing career. I'm going to go into a TV and film career. And then going through it, realizing I hated it. But, like, I did for a good, I don't know, first year or so, just did not write. Or I did not write for anything that intended to be good, or did not intend it for it to see any light of day. I
didn't write from, like 19 to 24, I want to say. And, like, 24, I did some, like, I wrote this first draft of this, like, gnarly little manuscript. And then I didn't finish anything. Like, I wrote, but I didn't finish anything until, like, I did NaNoWriMo when I was, like, 28. And I finished that, and again, very gnarly. She's in the dark cave somewhere. Like, and then I would say, like, honestly, like, was able to get a better understanding of plot somewhere around, like, April 2020. And, like, like, hey, everything paused. You. Exactly, I know. I would
not
say,
not
like,
to imply that you learned plot because you met me.
I have learned a lot from you, my little friend.
No,
like,
no, from the whole group. From the, like, we're all learning off of each other.
From everybody. Writing friends are such a great resource. You know, like, the things that, like, are your strength, you've been really able to, like, point them out for me, and, like, my writing has improved. I really appreciate you. You're awesome. Hi.
There you are. Okay, now I hear you.
Well, when you listen back, I was saying really nice things about you.
Just me screaming on my side of the audio. Where are you? I'm typing frantically.
And I really appreciate you. I cannot wait.
I would like to return all the beautiful sentiments you have sent towards me that I have not heard.
I just feel really strongly that I will agree.
Okay.
So I think we should do a blooper of, like, me saying nice things and you saying, where are you? Over it.
That's gonna be a fun little edit. Just back and forth. Like, I can't hear you. Turn your Call me back.
And then there's your strengths, and you're just so wonderful, and I love you so much. Well, meanwhile, you're calling for Auntie M. No, come back, Auntie M. Come back.
Oh my god, that's me all over. Just, start panicking like a dog that's been left at home.
You've forgotten me. All right. Should we sign off, my friend?
We should.
We need like an intro hello.
We do.
And then we need like a sign off. And then we need to not have it plagiarize other music jingle.
I thought our sign on was, "Hi, Marty from Back to the Future."
Oh,
yes. I keep making that joke, forgetting that I've made it last week.
McFly.
Hey, McFly. Skill sound clip from that movie. Hey, McFly.
Hey, McFly. I don't have anything for you, though. I mean, there's plenty of Kate references, for sure. I could just call you Winslet, I suppose.
I gotta look up what she looks like, because
Kate Winslet?
Is she the one... She in Lord of the Rings?
Titanic?
Oh, Titanic, okay.
Yeah. You just blew my mind. I love Kate Winslet. She's so funny. I'm
just so terrible with actors' names and faces.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can say a name to me and I'll be like, I have no idea who that is, and you'd be like, he's your favorite actor. He's in all those movies you love, and I'll be like, really?
Oh, I do love him.
Literally, the only one I know is Alan Alda, and he's not in anything anymore, because, like...
But I love Alan. Like,
I love him
too.
so
He's much.
Oh, I love his memoir.
I haven't read his memoir. I'm
sure he has more than one. God, I forgot what the title is, but I'm still in the middle of reading it.
Isn't it something about, like, don't stuff your dog?
Yes, don't get your dog stuffed or whatever.
He's so funny.
He is. I saw him talk live once. It was like a college trip.
Oh my god.
And he started talking about, like, growing up in, like, a burlesque theater, and I'm just like, is he bullshitting us? And now I'm reading the memoir. I'm like, oh, he wasn't... This is his actual life, huh?
That's insane. Really?
Yeah, one of his parents was, I think his dad was, like, in the theater, burlesque theater kind of show.
Wow. I always, like, pictured him having such a wholesome, like, why can't I think of the, like the dog and the boy, like, paintings. I can't think of it right now. Rockwell. Yeah. That's the way I imagined his childhood. So this is way more rich. So,
literally everything he says about his life is just bizarre. You're just like, wow.
I love that. I love like Bryan Cranston telling stories about his life, and I love he's so funny. He has a way, like, he has like really interesting like stories and stuff, but he has a way of like telling stories. I mean, it's just so fun to listen to.
Yeah, I have not heard any of his stories, but
oh my gosh, I'll send you some.
I enjoy him as an actor.
Him in interview is just delightful. You know how like there's just some people that like, I hope he's exactly the way he seems.
Yeah.
But there's people that like you watch and you're like, I'm glad things worked out for you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He's one of those for me. I'm really glad things worked out for him. He seems delightful. I don't know him, but he seems great. So, all right, friend.
All right, yeah, we gotta sign off.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
I love you lots, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, see you.
Bye.